What is up everyone? In this video, we're going to talk about the reasons why you should not buy a co-op apartment in New York City. If you're thinking of buying a home in New York City, or maybe just out of curiosity, you've scrolled through any home search website, chances are you've come across a type of building known as co-op. Now, there is no one-size-fits-all approach, and co-ops might just be the perfect fit for many people, provided that you as a buyer know exactly what you're looking for, you know how to find the buildings that match your qualifications and your specific housing needs. But at the same time, it's true that co-ops in New York City come with a unique set of challenges, and for certain individuals, buying in a co-op building may not be the right decision. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Just remember, it's great that you're taking time to educate yourself by watching videos like this, but it's important to stress that self-research shouldn't be your only source of information. The world of real estate in New York City is complex. I try to make my videos as comprehensive as possible, but the videos usually contain a lot of generalizations. Therefore, even if you think that any of the reasons in this video is true for you, exceptions may also apply for your unique situation. So the point is, always talk to a real estate professional who understands your unique situation and goals and is able to properly guide you and make your home buying journey a fun and enjoyable experience. That's exactly what I do. You might have a real job, but my job is to help buyers, sellers, landlords, and renters with their housing needs here in New York City. If you're watching my channel for the first time, my name is Sargis, and this channel is all about New York City real estate. There is a link in the description of this video where you can schedule your free one-on-one consultation call with me if you're a buyer, seller, landlord, or renter, or if you just have any questions about New York City real estate. And now let's talk about why you should not buy a co-op apartment in New York City. Just keep in mind that at this point, I'm assuming you are familiar with what co-ops are, the differences between condos and co-ops, and other relevant co-op specifics. If you're not, I've already made videos explaining different aspects of co-op buildings, so make sure to watch those videos as well. Number one reason why you shouldn't buy a co-op apartment is if you're not willing or don't feel comfortable disclosing all your financial profile. In other words, this is about your comfort level with complete financial transparency. Now, co-op board packages most of the time might feel invasive, especially for people who are moving to New York City, or even for locals who are trying to buy a co-op for the first time. Typically, they'll want to see your last 2 or 3 years of tax returns, W-2s, pay stubs, personal and professional reference letters, a landlord reference letter if you are currently renting. The application itself can be long, and be ready to itemize all your assets and liabilities. Not to mention that everything you list in your financial statements must be substantiated, which can get tedious if you have various investments, real estate portfolio, and other type of assets. It is normal here for co-ops to ask so much information, but throughout my years of full-time work in this industry as a real estate agent, I've met several individuals who simply aren't comfortable sharing such extensive financial details. Moving on to the reason number 2 is basically the uncertainty of your purchase and a potential rejection. Co-ops can reject any resale application, and as of today, they aren't obligated to provide you the reason for rejection. Your rejection can be, for example, the reason number 1 we've just talked about. A lack of financial transparency can raise red flags. Other important financial qualifications are your DTI and post-closing liquidity. Regardless of how comfortable you are with, for example, having a 40% DTI, which stands for debt to income ratio. If that specific co-op's DTI requirement is under 30% or under 25%, your application will most likely be denied. The same is for post-closing liquidity, which means how much liquid assets you have left after you complete the purchase. You might be comfortable with spending all your savings to buy a home of your dreams, which of course is never a good idea. But the point is, if the co-op finds your available reserves after the purchase inadequate, this could also be a reason for rejection. Every building has its own requirements, and as if things weren't complicated already, those requirements aren't even written anywhere. Before we move forward, just so we're all on the same page, those 3 reasons aren't the only reasons why a co-op might reject your purchase application. There can also be other reasons. That's why it is very important to have a professional guidance to avoid any waste of time and frustrations. The difference between buying a co-op versus a condo or single family or multifamily residence is the fact that if you're financing and a bank qualifies you for a mortgage and is ready to lend you money with whatever the DTI and post-closing liquidity you may have, with single family or multifamily residences, you won't have a problem completing your purchase because there is no board of directors to review your purchase. It's just you, the seller, and the bank. With condos, sometimes their board packages can be as lengthy as a typical co-op board package, but with condos, they don't qualify the buyers. They don't set any DTI limits and they cannot just reject your application. They have something called a right of first refusal, which works in a different way. You can see more details about condo board packages and their right of first refusal in this video. Just to be clear, I am not saying that you should go ahead and buy a condo or a house with a very high DTI. The point I'm trying to make here is just because you think you're comfortable with a certain DTI, the co-op board might find that DTI too high and reject your purchase. You don't have this uncertainty of simply being rejected by the board if you're trying to buy any other type of property. There are different approaches when it comes to what your ideal debt to income ratio should look like, and it mostly depends on your specific situation, but that's a topic for another video. Back to this video, the reason number 3 why it might not be the best idea to buy a co-op is if you're planning to buy an actual investment property and rent out your apartment indefinitely. Every co-op building has sublet policy, and most of them limit the number of years people are allowed to sublet their apartments. Although there are co-ops in the city that might allow subletting from day one of your purchase without limiting the number of years. First off, there aren't many that allow subletting from day one without any limits. Second off, even if you find the ones that do, you have to be very careful with your cash flow calculations, because it is common to see high sublet fees that you might have to pay to the co-op in order to rent out your apartment, and those fees will affect your cash flow. Also, just because that specific co-op allows unlimited subletting today, it is not a guarantee that one day they won't change their sublet policy, which means your apartment can turn into a liability instead of being an asset. And the reason number 4 why co-op isn't a right choice for you is if you want to have a convenience and comfort of living in a building with a lot of modern amenities. While there are many co-ops that offer a full-time doorman, concierge service, gym, rooftop, and maybe a lounge area, and some co-ops can also have a pool, but amenities such as on-site spa treatment room, steam room, sauna, hot tub, basically those premium health and wellness amenities, as well as movie theater, golf simulator room, tennis court, basketball court, are more common to see in newly built condos. Also, in general, their fitness centers and pools are more premium and have newer equipment. The bottom line is, if you want to have top of the line, feeling so fine, sip on some wine, shine like a dime amenities, the majority of co-ops in the city will not meet your expectations. Before we finish the video, it is very important to mention one more time, the reasons you shouldn't buy a co-op we've just talked about in this video contain a lot of generalization. Always consult with a real estate professional who understands your unique situation and your goals and has the knowledge and capacity to find the right buildings and the right apartments for you. Also, negotiate on your behalf and successfully complete the transaction so you can become a homeowner. Don't forget to schedule your free one-on-one consultation call with me using the link in the description of this video if you're looking to buy, sell, or rent here in New York City, or if you just have questions about New York City real estate. Also, if you got any value from this video, liking the video and subscribing to the channel would be a huge favor. Thanks for watching. Until next time.